Yeah, my mate Terry's got these two South African Boerboels. They look a bit like bull mastiffs, but a lot more stockier and more power in the jaws, yeah. And they are proper guard dogs. The bitch, she's quite friendly. The bitch, she's got a massive head, powerful jaws. The dog, when I first went there, the dog, he was all right. He was quite, you can muck about with him a bit. But after 2 or 3 years, he's changed. He's become so big. The head's massive. The shoulders are really broad. And he's the governor. He knows he's the governor as well. Yeah. I used to take him out every day. Yeah. I used to take the dog out first, about 3 mile, 4 mile up hills and all that. Kept him on the lead. Any time he see a dog, he was on it, you know what I mean? You have to really pull him back, He's so hard to control. And after a while, he got a bit better. And this particular time, I'm taking him up the hill, and this woman's got 2 Dutch hounds, them 2 little sausage dogs, yeah? And they're not on the lead or nothing, and they come rushing up to my one, to the Boerboel, the male, and, they started barking. I'm trying to pull him back, and they're trying to bark. I said, lady, put your dog on the lead, love. She said, your dog shouldn't be so vicious, I said, put your dog on the lead, love, because in a minute, I said, you won't need no bread, he'll eat them like sausages. You know what I mean? I said, put them on the lead. And she said, I want to complain. I said, well, do what you like. I said, but your dog should be in the lead. So if I let him go for a little bit of second, he'd have just ripped them 2 to pieces, you know what I mean? But I had to hold him back. And after that, you have to keep him very close to me. And any dog you see, you've got to keep him close. But it's the miles, we still love it, yeah? And you can hear the bitch in the background yowling, because her mate's gone. And she was so nice, yeah, I know. But as you come down past Terry's, to go down the slope, yeah, there's this guy got this great big Alsatian, one of them big fluffy things, yeah, comes to the gate like a lunatic, like a nut. And the dog, mate, he tried his hardest, right, he pulled me, tried his hardest to get through there, you know what I mean? He was ripping it to pieces. He wanted that Alsatian, yeah. And I was walking down there one day with him, and the man who's got the Alsatian had the gate open. And mate, the worst thing he could ever did, the Alsatian come rushing out, and the Boerboel, well, in seconds that Boerboel was on it, you know what I mean? And I just pulled it away in time. He'd have ripped it to pieces, and the guy, and the Alsatian just run off, yeah, because the Alsatian knew, mate, it was in trouble. And sweet. I mean, and then the bitch, I was to take her out. She was absolutely stunning. She's so nice. Her temperament is lovely. Yeah. And Terry sent me one day. You can let her off the lead. She's as good as gold with dogs and all that. I said, yeah, all right. Anyway, so I didn't let her off the lead until I got to this big woods. Yeah. So I let her off the lead, and mate, this, I forget what they call them, like poodles or something, they're like poodles really, but all fluffy, yeah. This thing come rushing, it's quite big as it happens, come rushing over like a lunatic towards me, see me like, just walking by myself. The bitch was sniffing around. He come over to me, this dog, like yelping, mate. The bitch, I've never seen the dog so fast. She was on it, jump. She had it on the floor within seconds, and I was trying to pull her off, the woman was screaming, all she done really is had her paws around it like that, and it was like looking at it as if to say, well, do a sort of favour, don't move, you know what I mean? This thing froze, yeah? And yeah, I took it off, and anyway, so I stopped taking them out for walks, because it was a bit awkward to get over there, this, that and the other. And when about the 3rd time I took the dog out for a walk, he slipped his lead. he slipped his lead. I had a choke round his neck and he slipped it. I had it on it and I took it off for a reason to get it more comfortable, and he went, mate. And I tried to get hold of him. It was really slippery. I grabbed his towel, yeah? Wow, mate, that's the worst thing that I could ever have done. As I grabbed his towel, he turned round on me, mate, really, because he knows me, you know, and he could have took my head off, mate. You know, he went mad. He went crazy. And I thought, yeah, don't get hold of his towel. That's the worst thing to do. Don't do that again. His towel was like rock, you know what I mean? Don't do that again. And he let me put the choke chain back on him, you know. And about 2 or 3 weeks ago, one of the guys, Ian, that feeds them every day, and he's really good with them dogs, they love him, yeah. And a woman comes round to bath them, yeah, give them a wash. And they will not go in the bath. They will not go in the bath. She has to put them outside, wash them down. They don't even like that. But Ian thought, well, I'll get it in the bath. He tried to get it, got around the collar, right? He had to put a choke chain on it to grab it and to put it in the bath, yeah? But thinking he doesn't really know her, doesn't really know him, he got hold of his towel, yeah, and picked him up. He went, Terry was telling me, he went white, mate. He went white like ice cream. He went pure white, honestly. Mate, he turned around the dog and really let him know, you know, don't do that, mate. Showed the teeth, big head, you know, if he get hold of you, if he gets hold of you in any shape or form, arm, anything, he would crush your bones. They got a £700 per square inch pressure or something like that, something stupid, 750 square inch, you know what I mean, pressure. You know, in the dog, I think the dog thing they're about the second most powerful for the grip, yeah? And you wouldn't want to muck about with these things, you know what I mean? They're so beautiful. But I want the bitch. I want the bitch over here, yeah? Them two always, like, he's got a bit bigger now. He's got a bit more bulkier. And he wants to let her know that he's the governor. But the bitch is always the governor. She's, you know, he bites her and now she's setting about him. She's putting him on the floor and everything, you know what I mean? She's the one, but she's not so big as him. She was, but she lost weight, you know. They had to lose weight because she was getting too big, too heavy. But he's just muscular. He's like bulky as anything, you know. And sometimes you don't go with Terry's for a couple of 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And what he does, he barks at the door to get in, and Terry just opens the door and tells him to go. As soon as Terry opens the door and tells him to go, he'll go, yeah? But if Terry shuts the door and he sees Terry, he's always barking. And the other day I'm not on the green with them both, yeah? And he's got a habit, right? What he does now, he goes for the ankles. He goes to trip you up, you know what I mean? He gets hold of your ankles and pulls your ankles to trip you up. And he tried to do it the other day. He got hold of my ankle, you know what I mean? I grabbed him on the neck. Mate, if he gets you on the floor, you know, whether or not he's going to lick you or bite you to death or lick you to death, you don't know, you know what I mean? But if he gets you on the floor, you're in trouble, you know what I mean? So I just got hold of his head and, you know, but you can't muck about with these Boerboels, mate. They're the best dogs, I think, you could ever have, you know what I mean? They're proper guard dogs. Anyway, bang, bang, well, nice one.